After years of the war, the last 6 months were Yemen's longest lull in fighting. But now the Houthis and the government have failed to extend the truce. Both sides are blaming each other for allowing the deal to expire. But now, what does this mean? Does the end of Yemen's truce mean back to a full-blown fighting? And why is the world forgetting about Yemen?
They say nations win wars, but humanity loses. Words tailor-made for the crisis in Yemen. What's happening in Yemen is a tit-for-tat war. Strikes followed by retaliatory strikes, and then preemptive strikes. All the while, civilians on the ground watch on. For the last 6 months, guns in Yemen fell silent, all because of a UN-brokered truce. The truce was brokered in April. Since then, it has been renewed twice. The ceasefire brought a sharp drop in fighting. Despite claims of violations on both sides, it led to a 60% decrease in displacement. As for child casualties, it dropped by 34%. Residents say their daily lives improved drastically. Prices went down as more essential goods entered the city.
I hope that the truce will continue until the war ends completely, so that we can continue with our small projects. First, open real barns, not on the house roof, also to keep feed prices low and make it available.
I transport passengers from here to Al Habban and back. The car started to deteriorate as I drive 6 hours from here to there. On my way back, the car broke down and I could no longer fix it to do anything.
The truce worked for 6 months, but not this time. The Yemeni government and Houthis have failed to reach an agreement. The government blames Houthis for the end of the truce. For their part, Houthis say the discussions reached a dead end. So what will this mean for Yemen? The war has killed thousands, leaving behind a conflict-ridden nation where 80% of the population depends on aid. The UN calls it the world's worst humanitarian crisis. So will the fighting resume? Houthis have already issued warnings to Saudi Arabia and the UAE. UN says millions will be at risk if the fighting resumes. Groups have called on both sides to put aside differences and extend what they called an arm of diplomacy. Any resumption of fighting will put 23 million people at risk. As for a new ceasefire, both sides think it is not feasible. This to and fro will likely continue. In the end, one side will emerge victorious. But the question is, will they still have a country left to rule? West Asia Bureau, WION World is One.